Hi there and welcome. I'm Rabbi Nachum with the Las Vegas Kollel. The Chafetz Chaim continues in his introduction by pointing out that so often the reason why we speak Lashon Hara, the reason why we often have bad habits of speaking negatively about one another is because we don't really view the transgression of Lashon Hara, we don't view the sin of speaking negatively, of gossiping, we don't think it's that big of a deal. We think, right, it's not great, but we don't really appreciate the magnitude of just how serious of a transgression it is. And the Chafetz Chaim highlights, he points out the Talmud, which tells us that the Beis HaMikdash, the second temple, was destroyed because of sinas chinam, because of hatred that Jews had to one another. And the Chafetz Chaim argues by different sources and proofs that when the Talmud says it's sinas chinam, it's that the Jews couldn't get along with one another, it's a specific reference to Lashon Hara, that the Jews spoke negatively about one another, that Jews gossiped about one another. And that was the reason why the Beis HaMikdash was destroyed, something that we pray for every day. We want the Beis HaMikdash. Recognize the second Beis HaMikdash was destroyed, says the Chafetz Chaim, because of Lashon Hara. Lashon Hara is not a minor transgression. It's a very serious transgression, and that's why the second temple, the secking Beis HaMikdash, was destroyed. The Chafetz Chaim quotes the passage in the Talmud which tells us that Lashon Hara is equivalent of Shvichas Damim, Gili Arayos, the Avodah Zarah. That Lashon Hara, gossiping, speaking negative about one another, on some level it's equivalent in terms of the severity of its transgression as adultery, idolatry, and murder. Obviously very significant, the three cardinal sins in Judaism. On some dimension, on some level, Lashon Hara is just as bad. We should never go ahead and excuse ourselves for speaking negatively, for speaking Lashon Hara. We should never go ahead and say, yeah, it's not such a big deal. It's not such a major transgression. Look, we all get into patterns of bad behaviors and we all try to improve, and we shouldn't kill ourselves and become depressed if we struggle with Lashon Hara, but at the same time, we shouldn't go ahead and minimize the transgression and say, it's not such a big deal, God doesn't really care about it. It's a significant transgression. It's the reason why the Beis HaMikdash was destroyed. We have to remind ourselves, when it comes to Lashon Hara, when it comes to speaking negatively about one another, it's not a minor transgression. This is a very, very serious Aveira. It's a very, very serious transgression.